Hi, this is Elizabeth. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and to my subscribers, thank you very much for your continued support. So as you see in front of us right here, we have Daniel Smith and some information that we're going to talk about right there. And yeah, this palette is one of the first palettes that I ever bought that started my so-called addiction and now my collection is growing with the palettes. Cannot wait to go ahead and share this with you. We're going to start off with the Daniel Smith story. So John Cogley is the owner of Daniel Smith, and he said on this leaflet, I started with Daniel Smith in 1988, beginning in the IT department and then moving into management, becoming president in 1995 and buying the company after that. I have always loved and been fascinated by our manufacturing department. Making a product that artists use to create beauty is very satisfying to me. And then it says right here that at Daniel Smith, we begin with the question, how can I serve the needs of our customers? This question holds true from sourcing the pigment through the entire manufacturing process. The end result, placing the finest made paint in the hands of the artist. What follows is our story. So there's just so many information here, and it's mostly about how Daniel Smith created their products. We have here some background on how the pigments were discovered before and how it was processed and what are used as paints before. It used to be some blood, egg, or crushed mineral mixed with animal fat. And now we have both earth pigments and then laboratory made or synthetic pigments. And then we have here some information about how permatex sourcing and milling is. And there's like some step by step. And this is mostly about how the watercolors are made. And now we have some permatex information over here where they were originally from, which earth stones. It's right here. And there's a most hardness scale. And we have information about Moonglow over here. Granulation or reticulation. Daniel Smith Moonglow watercolor says that it's one of our most popular colors. It's a great example of pigment granulation or reticulation. It contains a mixture of 3 pigments, each behaving quite differently. There's the PG18 Viridian, PB29 Ultramarine Blue, and PR177 Anthracenoid Red. And then it says here's a cold press paper and what causes the granulation. Says that granulation is caused by the density or specific gravity variations in the pigment or the pigment's constituents. That's quite good because we're going to talk about Moonglow also. This is one of my favorite colors on the Daniel Smith range, and it is included on this Colors of Inspiration palette. There's a controversy about Moonglow. Some say that it's not light fast. Some say that we should trust the ASTM rating on it. And there's like some professionals behind it that were the ones who was responsible for rating, which we should trust more. And some of our favorite artists and our watercolor references have done their own light fast test, so it's quite confusing, but nonetheless, yeah, Daniel Smith watercolors are very beautiful in general. They behave really beautifully when you paint with them. And yeah, I know that a lot of you know more about the Daniel Smith, but at least I was able to share just a tiny bit more information As of today, 3rd of October 2023, Daniel Smith now have 266 colors available in 15 ml and 117 colors available on their 5 ml line. They also have 62 colors for their extra fine watercolor sticks and 45 colors on their half pans. So there's just so many watercolors that we have, and we have the extra fine ones, and they also have a Primatech line with unique colors made from authentic mineral pigments, and they also have a Daniel Smith luminescent watercolor, and it says to be the art of illumination and reflection. So beautiful. The star of this video is this one, and we just are going to talk about the packaging right now. So it comes on this box, and it says that there is a bonus 12 free empty half bands that you will see inside. On the sides we have, looks like this right here, and then just some colors. It says danielsmith.com and then made in Seattle on both sides. And then at the very back we have here the colors and just the name of the colors in different languages right there. You will notice that I keep them on the boxes because there's just a lot of information on the boxes, and I didn't want to waste them anyway. It says here that following in the Daniel Smith tradition of manufacturing and finest handcrafted paints and products, our pans are hand poured. Hand pouring pans is incredibly labor intensive but offers the purest form of professional watercolor half pans. It says that it wets quickly and easily, professional artist quality, finest pigments, highest pigment load, consistency of color, exceptional light fast pigments, and portable and easy to use, perfect for travel, plein air, urban sketching, and exploring unique color combinations. So let's open the box, and this is how the black metal tin looks like. And then there's this logo to the left corner. At the back we have this ring wherein you can insert your finger so you can easily just carry it, especially when you paint outside or paint standing or doing plein air. When you open it, looks like this. You can use this well as your mixing tray, and even this part, and it's easy to open because there is a slit right there that's like a cave, and then you just open like so. Those are the free half pans that they're talking about, and I really like that there's an extra plastic sheet right here that has all of the information about this ones, and it's also very good because maybe when this palette is being transported to you, if this is not there, then this might be falling all over the place and moving or like whatnot, and there is no markings on each and every pan. So it's really nice that like we have right there something to stop them from moving around, aside from all of the information right there, which had been very helpful when I did my first swatches for this palette. All right, and then for each and every pan, let me just grab one. I actually put a this sticky white thing over there just to make it stay in place. So for each pan, at the bottom it has Daniel Smith right there. There is a logo on all of them, even for the extra ones, which is quite good, but that's about it. No other information about each and every color. But what I do is that I grab a masking tape, and then I write onto the masking tape, like for example the name. Usually I put so many information, but just for this one I just put the name. Yeah, so there. And that is how the packaging and the pans look like. And now we are going to just proceed on, like, I just wanted to let you know which brushes we're going to use and the paper for swatching. The paper that we are going to use to swatch today is the Fabriano 1264. It is 360 grams and it has 25% cotton in A4. For the brush, I am going to use my ever so favorite Tintoretto 1335 in number 8, and this is the travel mop brush. So I have my template right here, and our fierce butterflies are back. There's 12 of them in here. I have labeled each of the colors with their name, their pigment information, and also the light fastness, transparency, staining, and granulation is also on the upper right corner over there. All right, so let's start swatching. First, we have the cadmium yellow medium hue, and this one has three pigments. We have PY53, PY151, and PY83. This color is one on the light fast rating, which is excellent for Daniel Smith. It is semi-opaque, low staining, non-granulating. Cadmium yellow medium hue is a mid-toned, slightly red yellow and is perfect to add heat, energy, and focus in any painting. If you mix it with wet into wet with cerulean blue, you will have a very vast array of textures of greens in various tones depending on the color balance and amount of water, from dusky yellow greens to vibrant spring greens. So this is a cadmium hue, meaning they did not really use the toxic cadmium on this particular watercolor, and it is safer. Now we have Quinacridone Rose, and Quinacridone Rose is PV19, just a single pigment. It has excellent light fast rating, and this one has medium staining properties. It's transparent and non-granulating. This is a red-violet color that lends itself to fabulous purples. If we try it with indigo, it will create some deep and dusty purples. Or if we mix it with Indian Throne blue, it will have rich, clear purples. So it's also perfect for color mixing. It can also be mixed with quinacridone, sienna, or burnt orange in dilute wash to create flesh tones or convincing sunsets. By the way, I did not pre-wet any of the pans just so we can see their full potential. And it's just really so nice when you do swatching, you just couldn't stop. This is just so much fun to do. And this is just so stunning. For sure, we can create a lot of beautiful roses, botanical paintings using quinacridone rose. It's just a nice staple on anyone's palette, or if you are collecting or if you wanted to dip your toes on Daniel Smith watercolors, I think that this is something that I could highly recommend. It's so beautiful. The next color that we have right here is Wisteria. And Wisteria has two pigments. We have a white, which is a PW6, and PR122. So Wisteria has a very good light fast rating, and it is semi-transparent, non-staining, non-granulating watercolor. It's so beautiful. This one, when I see Wisteria, the one thing that comes in my mind right away are orchids. Wisteria, like the blooms of its namesake flowering vine, it is delicate and red-leaning lavender. Similar in the color ultramarine red, but with different properties. To be honest, this is one of the colors that I reach for so much on this palette. You can see that I have been using this quite a lot as compared to the other colors. Well, the other colors, I have them as duplicates, meaning I have them on other half pans that I put on another set, or I have some tubes or the watercolor sticks. So it depends. But this Wisteria and Lavender, I only have on this set, on this half pants originally. The next one that we have is Rose of Ultramarine. And Rose of Ultramarine have two pigments. We have PB29, PV19, and these two mixes just do such a great job. This color is just so vibrant and astonishing. So this color has excellent light fast rating. It is transparent and medium staining. Look at that granulation because of the PB29 Ultramarine. As this one dries down, we will be able to see that the blue will settle and the rose will float, creating a vibrant dimensional purple. It is a nice convenience color because even though we all know what are the two pigments that are here, the PB29 Ultramarine and the PV19, I still do think that it will be a little difficult to achieve this one, so it's nice to have this on the palette. It will be very interesting also to mix this with a phthalo blue. It will create so much fun effects. Just so nice. Now we have the ever so popular Moonglow. Moonglow has three pigments. We have PG18, PB29, and PR177. So this color has excellent light fast rating according to Daniel Smith website. It is transparent, low on staining, and granulating. And that's one of the reasons why this color is quite popular, not just this miracle, magical three pigment mix, but the granulation that this creates. Just such a beautiful, beautiful color. You can even paint some stills just using this one color. Moonglow can be used in so many things. I use this quite a lot for shadows. I use this quite a lot for night sky and just adding depth on a painting. This is my go-to. There's just a little bit of controversy with Moonglow, as we have lots of artists who conducted their own light fast tests and Moonglow faded quite evidently on those tests. I haven't done mine yet, but yeah, it's just so brilliant at this color. It's no wonder that this is a lot of us favorites. Us watercolor lovers, watercolor enthusiasts, we love this color. A lot of us try to avoid it because of the controversy of the light fast trading, but it's just so hard to forget Moonglow, and I just still keep on reaching this color. The sixth color in this palette is Shadow Violet. Shadow Violet also has three beautiful pigments. We have PO73, PB29, PG18. And Shadow Violet has excellent light fast rating. It is transparent, non-staining, and it is also granulating. So about similar properties as Moonglow. This is one of the artist favorites also, because as it dries down, it's going to show some beautiful magical effects. Shadow Violet is a gray mauve in light washes. It displays a fascinating granulation when used more thickly. That's why I'm adding a little bit more so we see more of that granulation. Deep warm violet in a mass tone. It reveals a slight orange glow in thin applications, which we can see evidently on the lower right part over here. Its transparency makes it a great choice for glazing, and it's ideal, of course, for conveying the subtleties of shadow. So this too I use for shadow. I reach more for the Moonglow and use Shadow Violet on some fascinating mixes. Or it's also nice to just paint with this just one color of something like a vase, which I love to paint. If you wanted to do some like mono painting, you can use this one. That beautiful effects of the three pigments combined and separated. It's just creating a brilliant effect on one's painting. The seventh color on the palette is the Phthalo blue-green shade. And we know phthalos, they are notorious with their staining property. This one has PB15:3 as its pigment. It has excellent light fast rating. It is transparent and non-granulating. I really like this color. It's beautiful. A lot of people do not want to paint with phthalos because of its crazy, it's heavy, it's high staining property. So many times this one stained my nails. The phthalos stained my Escoda brushes, the one that has white Torre, the Perla brushes, or it stains some of the plastic palettes that I have been using before. But now I only use ceramic palettes or porcelain, so it's not so much of a problem. It is a very cool color, and it has clean staining shadows and reflected light on windows effect when you make a painting. It is a very popular pure chroma organic paint. If you mix this one with Hansa yellow, it will create beautiful luminous greens. The eighth color on the palette is lavender. Lavender has three pigments. We have PW6, a white, PV15, PB29. You will see how I make use of the lavender on a sample painting later on. There's something that I'm still working on, not quite finished, but you'll be surprised on how you can use this one. This color has excellent light fast rating, semi-transparent, low staining, but it is granulating. Lavender is a beautiful periwinkle blue and quite different from the other blues of Daniel Smith range. This semi-transparent lavender blue has beautiful granulation and it lifts easily. Reminds me a lot of faded denim. Since I create fashion illustrations as well, this watercolor comes in handy. There are three greens in this palette, and the first one is Cascade Green. And Cascade Green has two pigments. We have PBR7, PB15, and both are just creating a stunning effect. It has excellent light fast rating. It says to be semi-transparent, medium staining, and granulating. The craggy peak of Cascade Mountain that divide lush western Washington from the dry high plains of east inspired this unique green. From damped evergreen forest and alpine meadows to the drier, sunnier, open forest, the Cascade Green showcased a million shades of green found in those environments, becoming a versatile addition to artist preferred greens. As you see here, this green is rich and cool, and it is a dark and mossy mid-range green. This next green is a Primatech color, and it is a Serpentine Genuine. The Serpentine Genuine is or rather, is an earth pigment, and honestly, this is one of my favorite colors. Having this palette at the early part of my watercolor journey makes me feel so lucky because these are the colors that I really resonate with and I paint quite a lot with. And I'm really happy that I made the right decision on grabbing this palette because there are two other palettes from the Daniel Smith line. They have these colors of inspiration, and then the 12 color half pan set, and there's also a 24 color half pan set, which you will see me creating a video very soon. I am not so certain if I'm gonna buy the set yet, but I duplicated the colors from my watercolors, and some I will grab from the dot card. Oh, by the way, yeah, the new dot card with the 266 watercolors I have not yet played with, I have not yet swatched with, so you will see that very soon. Going back to our genuine Serpentine, this has excellent light fast rating. It is semi-transparent and non-staining, and it is granulating. This beautiful Serpentine pigment is from the land down under. This Australian green color, Serpentine, is of a variety called Stitch-Tite. It is a soft stone used cross-culturally for carving amulets, used to ward off harm, and it's just so stunning. Look at this one. I love using this one, especially when I create floral paintings. This is just so wonderful on leaves. I will see, or I will share a sample of like just swatching it, creating some trees, and yeah, and oh, I just cannot stop swatching this one. Just so beautiful. The third green on this palette and the second primitive color that we have is Genuine Green Apatite. Another earth pigment, and this one is excellent on a light fast rating. It is semi-transparent, low staining, and also granulating. Green Apatite creates beautiful range of greens from fresh yellow green to deep olive. It is a sedimentary color, and it has dark, almost brown olive green mass tone. When this dries down, you will see the textures of it, and the brown will surface a little bit more. I like that all the three greens added on this palette are just quite different from each other. And they are just these beautiful convenience greens that's difficult to mix with our primary colors. And last but definitely not the least, we have Quinacridone Gold. And Quinacridone Gold on this version is the one that has PO48 and PY150. This Quinacridone Gold has excellent light fast rating, transparent, low staining, and granulating. No wonder this is a lot of the artist's favorite, even mine too. This Quinacridone Gold replaces raw sienna and adds versatility with its glazing and mixing capabilities. I'm glad that this one is added on this palette. It's just creating different beautiful mixtures with the other colors available here. When the last batch of single pigment quinacridone gold was produced, the manufacturer of PO49 had stopped making this pigment and allowed Daniel Smith to purchase all the remaining available stocks, which lasted for 17 years, they say. And then they developed a new blend. And that's why we see here two pigments, PO48 and PY150. I love quinacridone gold, really. I love to mix it with so many different colors, with ultramarine blue, with viridian, and other quinacridones on the Daniel Smith line, like the quinacridone red, quinacridone rose, and quinacridone purple. Creates beautiful mixes with this one. When alone, it creates a beautiful sunflower petal painting, and also I use this for sunset paintings. As we wait for our swatches to dry, I'm gonna share with you the first ever swatches that I made when I received this palette, and I added some other Primata colors down below here on that set. But these are the first swatches that I made, and look at how beautiful they are. The Cascade grains, granulation, and the separation of the pigments so beautiful. Serpentine genuine and the green apatite all look so beautiful. We have the ever so popular Moonglow over here. Oh, it's just so stunning. There's also something about this paper. It's not expensive at all. It's not even 100% cotton, but it really shows the power of the watercolors. That's why I love to swatch it with this one too. So when I do videos, I show you swatches with that paper because it's quite big. It's at least an A4, and this one is, I forgot what is the size of this one. It's just like a little bit bigger than an A5. It is 180 by 240 millimeters, and this is just a regular one that we can find in Flying Tiger here in Europe, a coral block. And yeah, here I swatch all the other watercolors that I have. Look just how vibrant it shows in this paper. I know that a lot of you would rather see watercolors swatch on arches paper. I just do not have a lot of arches paper. I have some. I kind of saved them from some paintings that I would like to show on my art exhibit instead. But these are the ones that you will be seeing in the very near future when I create the individual or the dedicated videos for the other palettes that I have on my collection. So if you haven't seen my watercolor collection, which is my first ever video here on YouTube, please go ahead and do so, because the palettes that are on that one and then the other palettes that you see on my haul videos are the ones that I will be showing to you very soon when I make these videos. And I will share you two swatches. One is on this paper with my the cute way on how I do it, and then one is the live swatches that we just created also today. Now they are all dry, so we can talk about it. We can see each and every color closely here. We have the cadmium yellow medium, just really nice and even. The quinacridone rose is just so stunning. Even the wisteria over here, it's just really light. I put several times that I swatched this one, and yeah, this is a light color. We have here the Rose of Ultramarine, so stunning. The ever so popular Moonglow and Shadow Violet. You see the separation on the lighter parts, and then on the dark parts, we see the granulation even more. And here we have a little bit of the brown, a little bit of orangey here. Phthalo blue is just this super striking blue over here with a green shade. Lavender, really nice, really just faded jeans, faded denim. Cascade green, oh, now it works its wonders, just granulated so beautifully, have different specks of green in there. We see some blue popping up. Serpentine genuine, have some specks of a brown in there. Just a very stunning color. Even the green Apatite genuine. It's really nice to swatch on a rough paper because we really see the granulation and the separation on the paper. Oh, that's really beautiful. And lastly is the Quinacridone Rose. So those are the swatches. And remember earlier I told you about I'm going to show you some sample paintings. I'm going to start with this one. It's just like when one day I was playing with watercolor, checking out the greens, and I created this one from the greens that I have. So I just compared it with the other ones that are also not here. But let's see here. We have a tree that's made of Cascade green, different values. We have some lighter wash there, and then I tried to do some mass tones and just really pretty outcome. We also have the Serpentine genuine here in the middle, beautiful autumn looking tree, and the green Apatite genuine is also there right next to each other, and they're just both so beautiful. The other greens that are here are sap green, undersea green, and jadeite genuine. If you wanted me to share a video of how I paint different trees, then let me know in the comment section down below. So I will create a dedicated video for that using different greens or different mixes, my favorite mixes, or my favorite convenience colors also. And if you wanted to see it on different brands as well, let me know. So those are the greens. And then sample paintings, okay? So these two of my mini paintings I created only using these colors over here. So the green Apatite genuine is right there, and we can see the Rose of Ultramarine on this is supposed to be a fountain pen. I have Moonglow over here on the ink, and just I have this one as the Wisteria, Quinacridone red, mixed a little bit so it goes a little bit more reddish in color. And then this one, this flower water can, the water can itself is just mostly Moonglow, but I mixed a little bit of genuine Serpentine just to give it a little bit more character. And then our flowers are made out of Rose of Ultramarine and then Quinacridone Rose over there. Of course, I have Cadmium yellow for this flower over here, also right there. I used some lavender over here, but I added a little bit of the phthalo blue. And just the leaves around are, of course, the three greens that we have right here. And then I have a little bit of more of like a muted or watered down phthalo blue for the base right here, just to add a little bit of color. Yeah, so those are the small paintings that I created. And then a painting that I have created a very long time ago, not really, maybe like last year, is this one. And we have their Moonglow for the ship, and a lot of it is mixture of color. We have phthalo blue. I think I mixed out with Cascade green to achieve these colors right here. So this one is like a gradient sky, a very colorful sunset, mixed with all of the colors that we have here available. And then I am creating a painting right now. I haven't finished yet. It's still ongoing. And this is the one I'm telling you earlier. So this is supposed to be like, I think you know anyway, but this is like a window, and then I will create something here, which she is painting over there. So for the window, I actually used the lavender. Yeah, that's lavender. And then a little bit of phthalo blue, just to give it a little bit more character on the glass window. And of course, for the panel, I have shadow violet. And then here on the easel, it is shadow violet with a little bit of genuine serpentine, and then Moonglow for the dark ones. Since I didn't want to use black anyway, then I went heavy on the Moonglow using its mass tone. So yeah, I have to complete this painting before I get to really share that with you. But yeah, so basically that's it. Those are the swatches for today. We learned a little bit more about the watercolors, and I shared you my thoughts about them. So my fierce verdict, or my final verdict, will be this is really one of the palettes that's really a favorite and so dear to my heart. I have so many palettes in my collection, but since this is one of the first ones that I really get to play with, and yeah, I get to know them really well, and I know how to use them more now since yeah, I have been using it for quite some time. You will notice that my palettes, they always look new because I am that kind of person who likes everything clean. I get more inspired when things are clean. Maybe because in some lifetime, not really a lifetime, I used to be a nurse, so I want everything clean. All the nurses out there, you know what I mean? If I could autoclave them, I'm gonna autoclave them. So a lot of you would notice that I keep them all clean. I put them back. If I ever use these mixing trays over here, this mixing wells, I clean them. Or most of the time I have a separate mixing tray. I have thrifted this one. This is, I think, supposed to be a soap dish. So I got this from the thrift store, and this is one of the things that I have been using for mixing. And yeah, so that's why I have my stuff always clean, but it doesn't mean that I use them. As you see, a lot of them are quite used, and some of them I have on a different palette, as I mentioned, which I really wanted to share with you because I wanted to move all of my half pans on one box, and I feel like I should share the video of that when I move everything to their new home very soon. Yeah, so overall, yes, I highly do recommend this one, especially if you are the kind of person who has a lot of the Daniel Smith, but usually have the ones that are for mixing, because a lot of these colors are convenience colors. If you're going to ask me if I can recommend this palette as your first ever palette from Daniel Smith, I am not super certain, even though we see here that there's some colors that you can use as the primary colors for mixing. The cadmium yellow could be your yellow, or the cadmium medium yellow rather. The quinacridone rose could be your replacement for a magenta or for a red, but we also have a phthalo blue over here. So these three, you can create lots of mixes. You can consider that as your primary color, but I think some other people would prefer to have like ultramarine blue, French ultramarine, or a cobalt blue for their blue instead of a phthalo blue, and then a different red But I like the cadmium yellow medium hue. It's beautiful. So it's also very close to New Gamboge, which is on a lot of primary sets or palettes chosen by our fellow artists. And then we have so many convenience mixes, and these are just like some additionals. If you are not into mixing and you wanted some colors that are just like readily available to you that are so beautiful anyway, then all of these are just so stunning. Even the quinacridone gold, actually, I could even like we can consider that as a yellow. You can mix that with a phthalo blue and create different beautiful greens. So yeah, I think it's a very good set, but I am just not so certain that it should be your first ever set. But if you are into exciting colors, if you love florals, botanicals, yes, you can go for it. Landscapes, yeah, I could see that you can have some landscapes here too. We don't have a Payne's Gray, but we have Moonglow that you could use for shadows and dark values. And yeah, but soon I maybe I will have my recommendations be influenced when I finally completed the mixing chart. Maybe we see more mixture possibilities in there. So I think if you see this on a good sale, grab it because it is of good value. If Lavender and Wisteria is very much of my liking because these colors really do appear on so much of the kind of paintings that I do. And if you haven't seen the kind of style that I have, you can see it on my Instagram. It's at the Fierce Art, and only my paintings are on the at the Fierce Arts. So you can see the link on the bio of my YouTube channel, also on the about page. Then I will also do some color mixing, which I have started over here. So I have a dedicated project now. Sneak peek. So these, I was just playing with the only 7 Daniel Smith watercolor sticks that I ever have, and I was like, let me see what this can do. And then I mixed them all together. I just seriously just chose a rainbow color, a rainbow of color on the watercolor sticks line. So yeah, and that's how it looks like. So maybe when I get to that video, we will talk about this a little bit more in depth. Rather, when I do the color mixing by myself, it takes me so long. So hopefully it's not gonna be way too long on the videos, but you know me anyway, all my videos are so long. So yeah, several of the palettes that I have in my collection, I have them ready because I really want to have this project and then like make a book for myself and flip through it and see the potential of all the palettes that I have been collecting rather, because you know I'm a crazy collector, and some I haven't fixed yet. Yeah, some of my, oh my gosh, yes, this ones I painted with this palette too. This one's for here, yeah, all of these. These are when I was trying out loose painting, and these are the paintings that I created. This is one of my favorite loose paintings. So yeah, you see the phthalo in there. So this I really love. I think I also use some other Daniel Smith watercolors that's not on that palette, but yeah, I mostly use the ones that are on that palette and even that other painting over there. Yeah, so I have been painting with this palette quite a lot, and a lot more. Yeah, maybe I can post a photo here because when I did my huge art exhibit last December in Stockholm, Sweden, I only painted with Daniel Smith on all of the watercolor paintings that I have showcased on that exhibit. Yeah, so but now I have more watercolors to play with, so let's see what I'm going to use on the next exhibits. But yeah, there you go, everybody. Thank you very much to all of you who have the patience. If you reach this far, let me know which color specifically from this palette is your favorite or wanted to grab after seeing this video. So yeah, then I would know that you reached this far. Thank you so much once again. I cannot stop thanking you guys for all your love and support, and I'm not able to put out videos every single day because I'm also very busy at school, but I always see to it that I put some videos on the weekends. Yeah, so see you on my next video, and just keep creating, keep on practicing your art, and keep on painting. Don't be afraid. See ya.